everyone, and welcome to the studios of CHRICED Radio and Television, where your matter now we own. My name na Princess Anyana, and I welcome you this day to know your rights. That now we Ogbonge program where they carry come tell you the rights them way you get as a country person, the rights them way even others get, and then for you today educated to know these rights and to know how to they use them. Now, normally we dey talk about government, we dey talk about country people. So today on Top CHRICED Radio and Television, we decide to come and talk about the rights where country people get when it come to the government where they work them, the government where they run the country where them belong, and the work where you as a country person get to give to the government where they run your affairs. And inside the matter, we're going to discuss these rights, these duties. We're going to find out whether government they do their own, whether country people they do their own, and how to make sure say government do their own obligation to you as a country person, and then you self do your own work to government will be say they serve you. And to do that one, I still get Ogbonge. I get my normal Ogbonge lawyer inside the house. That na Sam Chidi Nnaji, the partner, senior partner for inside OBN attorneys. Sam, welcome again to CHRICED.
Thank you, Princess.
Okay, so you be lawyer, so definitely you know what in most of these things them they talk. So yes. You feel first of all educate us, like as a government, we they talk of governments now of Nigeria, both for state level, both for federal level, both for local level, waiting be country people rights or waiting they deserve from the government then where they run them at all levels.
Okay, thank you, Princess. The relationship between government and its people is a contract. You know, a contract in the sense that every party to the contract has its own obligation. The way the citizens have their obligations, the way the government has its own. Now, it is the duty of the government to safeguard lives and properties of the people. Provide security, provide social security also. There is also the economic objective of the state. States now, I mean the country as Nigeria,
yes,
which is provided by the Constitution. If you look at the whole of chapter 2 of the Constitution, even though it is now said that the Constitution itself says that the entire of that chapter is non-justiciable, but that is government saying by itself that this is what my obligations are, but you cannot hold me to account. That's what it means.
Wait, so they talk say Nigerian Constitution where talk say government supposed do this for the country people. Also don't put something now say even if we no do them, they're not fee force us.
Yes. That's why they call that chapter non-justiciable. There's a principle of non-justiciability of chapter 2 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. That the government has obligations towards the people to provide security of lives and properties, to provide social security. Social security is right to quality healthcare.
Yes.
That is just, they're supposed to have for the Nigerian people good hospitals. Now you have also social security again involves right to have good housing programs, good family planning programs. You know, these things are supposed to be what the people will enjoy ordinarily. Then they have the economic objective is also there, that the environment is supposed to be well enabled for the people to carry on economic activities, to make profits and earn a good living. But the funny thing about that chapter is that it is non-justiciable. And the reason for the non-justiciability is that if everybody in Nigeria starts taking up the government to enforce that particular part of the Constitution based on the non-availability of those things, the country may collapse. If you have taken the government to the court for
they didn't give me security,
unavailability of security, and I have taken the government to court and Mr. B has done the same, C has done the same, the country may be in chaos because government will be distracted from the little they are supposed to be, they say they are doing. Let me not say it's supposed to be doing.
Okay, before we come back to this, first of all, when we talk about these rights, know your rights. Waiting exactly be the rights we country people supposed to get. Because I want me to tell us the rights.
Okay.
And then make we come relate them to the fact, say, okay, we get these rights as country people. And
Yes.
then if governments cannot be held responsible for waiting them also, so what do we do? Why are we electing them? Why are they running us?
Yeah, that is the thing. In other saner, more advanced climes, most of these things are enforceable. But now, the beautiful thing about our constitution is that the constitution has chapter 4. The chapter 4 has selected the fundamental rights and made them justiciable. Those ones you can take the government to the court.
What
To
are
the
those
highest
rights?
echelon. Section 33 is your right to life. Section 34 is your right to dignity of human person. Section 35 is your right to. Section 35 says right to liberty. That's right to liberty. 36 is right to fair hearing. It goes on and on and on to section 43. That's about 10 rights there, about 10 sections.
But if you tell us this right, we feel know wetin be our rights as country people for this Nigeria.
Okay.
Let's say about 10 rights now we just talk so.
Yes. Okay, you have right to life, right to dignity of human person, right to liberty, right to fair hearing in court, right to private life, right to freedom of association, right to freedom of press, right to freedom of movement. So long as you're within Nigeria, you can move to anywhere and reside there. Nobody will come and tell you are not indigenous of this place, so move out. No, it is your fundamental right. It is justiciable, it's enforceable. You have rights to own movable and immovable properties. Yes, whether it is movable or immovable. Immovable is land. You have the right to own it. Then you also have the right to freedom from discrimination. All forms of discrimination, whether based on gender, based on where you are from, your race, your ethnicity,
based on even ability
your color, your ability or disability. So these are about 10 to 11 rights I just mentioned now. And they are all enforceable. All of them. It doesn't matter who has breached the rights. Even if it's the president, they are all enforceable. You understand? So, but the ones they have carefully selected and left in section in chapter 2 of the constitution are not enforceable. The only ground where they become enforceable is that the government has legislated on it and there is an act providing for the availability of such service which the government is now failing to provide. You can now take the government on because there's a provision now in a legislation of the legislature of the National Assembly which says this ought to be there. And if the government fails to do it, then there's a problem.
So what thing they tell country people to do? If these things with government, like you talk, they're supposed to make sure say better health day, better environment for business, good roads, yes. security day. And then they say you're supposed to do all these things and they no do them. What should you as a country person do?
Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it because that's why they say that section is not justiciable. There is nothing you can do about it. That is the truth. You only sleep and wake up and keep praying that the government will live up to its responsibility with respect to those aspects of the law. If the government doesn't construct a good road in your area, you have to put up with the dust. You have to put up with the mud. You have to put up with whatever is happening around there. Because you cannot compel the government to do the road for you. That is the truth. You can only be praying. Maybe you lobby, you write, and lobby, but you can't go to court. That is the truth of the matter.
But as citizens now, country people, we get anything where government they expect from us?
Yes, quite a lot. They expect that you obey all the laws, obey all the constituted authorities, pay your taxes. Most of all, even if you don't obey all these things and they don't see your money, the government does not believe you are an obedient citizen.
Until you are paying tax.
Because they are more interested in the money. You understand? But then, of course, that was on a lighter note. You are not supposed to infract on any law. If the law says, most Nigerians, if there is a speed limit on a particular road, most Nigerians are very good at beating speed limits. You could be arrested and prosecuted by the road safety because it is a law. We have the road safety laws there. Then all the laws in the country, our criminal code and our penal code has provided for things that when you do them, they become an offense. And if you are arrested, you are prosecuted and you'll be punished.
But does it seem okay?
Those are your responsibilities and obligations.
Okay, now my responsibility, like you say, obey the laws. Yes. You understand? Not pass speed limit, pay my tax.
Pay the tax.
You get respect constituted authority.
Yes.
Those ones are my work to make the country good, Abi.
Yes.
And then for the side of government, where we put for work, their own, now to make sure, say, we get good road, we get security, we get all of that. And you say, if me, I go back for wetin I suppose do. I no pay my tax, you know, I no obey the law, punishment dey for me, consequences dey. But if the government no do their own part of to give me comfortable environment, security, light, road and everything, water, or me no get the right to hold them accountable, how does that make sense?
Well, the principle, like I said earlier, is that they don't want those things to be justiciable, so that you don't have litigations everywhere against the government, because it is money, it is the tax they've collected from you and I. They used to get lawyers to defend them. Mr. A has taken us, in fact, from A to Z. Everybody's in court against the government because of bad road, because of potholes, because there's no pipe-borne water, because there's no electricity. Very fundamental. Very, very basic as electricity is. We don't have it in sufficient supply. We don't have it. I don't know the part of this country that is enjoying 24 hours power supply. I don't know that. Even the villa. I don't think the villa enjoys 24 hours.
They have some money in the budget for solar.
You understand? That's why they are importing solar. You understand? So they have to use solar to get 24 hours supply of electricity, because we don't have it as a country. But it is the government's responsibility to make sure that everybody has it, because without power, a country can't be productive. Power is everything. But then we are still groping something as basic as power. There's no good schools. If you want to go to a good school, you have to pay through your nose. If you want to access quality education, we're talking about universities, most private universities now. You have Nile here, you have Bayes, you have Covenant, Crawford, Landmark, a lot of them, and they are expensive. They are not even for the middle-income learners. You understand? So the government's responsibility is to provide quality education for the people.
Okay.
You understand? They are feeling that. But unfortunately for you and I, you can't prosecute them for not building good schools.
So what can Nigerians do to make sure, say, that their work that they do, especially now, this is why they talk, Wetin make me they ask this one, say, at least about 2 serious matters now, don't they, inside Nigerian news space of recent, the issue of insecurity.
Yes.
Now, one of the one where they loud where we don't even see, in short, over the years, we don't even see some top people coming out to say, make country people learn to defend themselves. They don't talk some way say make they carry gun. They don't talk some way say make people go learn self-defense. Others don't come out and talk, say, be the security of yourself. They do vigilante, they do neighborhood watch and all of those things. Meanwhile, this work no be country people work, now government work. We also don't see some communities we go say now them they buy their transformer.
Yes, you get every day.
Yes, now then they buy their transformer, which is not their work.
Yes.
Now we are coming to this taxation now between the ending of last year to this January. You see they go up and down. Pay your tax, or no go pay. You need to pay. We go use them. That now why they ask this question. Say if then now they push for all these things to happen and they encourage we people to do them and we they consider to do our parts. How do we hold government responsible? How do we hold them accountable to make sure, say, themselves they do their own, make this country for change from Wetin we see today?
Okay, as a responsible citizen, first of all, if you are holding to your own part of the bargain, I think everybody in the country has a representative in the National Assembly, either in the House of Reps, in fact, both in the House of Reps
and in the Senate.
Everybody has representatives there. So nothing stops you from sponsoring a bill. You can sponsor a bill, of course. Yeah, or you come in a group and sponsor a bill, because for you to make those things justiciable, for you to make universal basic education compulsory, there must be a law saying that every Nigerian is entitled to basic education. There was a law. In fact, there is a law, not was. There is a law in this country that says basic education is compulsory. Now, if you are saying basic education is compulsory, have you built that school? Have you employed those quality teachers? Do you have a good curriculum? A good curricula? Now, for education to be quality, it needs these 3 components to have good quality. Then the education will be the outcome, right? We don't have those things. Now you are saying that there is a universal basic education, which is that every Nigerian must go through primary school at least.
Primary to JS3.
And then JS3, at least. But then government schools are not even free. the government schools, not even the federal, they are not free. Albeit more affordable than the private, but they're not free. So now, if the people wake up, in fact, if Nigerians are people that are not too adaptive, we are too adaptive. If anything happens, we quickly adapt. And it's one of our problems in the country. Somebody said that I like Nigeria because we adapt. I said it's one of our greatest undoing, that we adapt to anything. If you press us to the wall, we'll crack the wall and pass through it. You understand? If we are not a people of that nature, this country would have turned around.
So what will we do?
Now the people can approach the government. You know, I'm not inciting anybody to do anything, no. But the people know these places. We know our National Assembly complex. We know the villa. The Constitution says that the sovereignty of the country is in the people. Who has given it to the government through the Constitution to work for them? You can decide to go to this place and say, don't exercise the sovereignty for us again. We need it back. All of you live here. That is revolution. I'm not calling for revolution.
Okay, so if I understand you, Chidi.
But then, sorry, the civil way to do it is you are given the opportunity every 4 years to sack or retain. So what do you do with that right? It's your right again. No? But then when it comes to election, every Nigerian quickly remembers he belongs to one religion or one tribe. So immediately it's coming, we are getting close to an election. That sensitivity is heightened. These guys, they know how to beat it up. Once they beat it up, every Nigerian becomes tribal conscious, religious conscious, and they start playing along that path. Immediately after election, that person from your side has won. Me, that somebody from your side is not there. Both of us will start suffering. No education, no light, no good road. Your person go enter road if you get accident because of pothole. My own person go enter road, will get accident because of pothole. The road does not select who it will kill based on who is in the government and who is related to who is in the government. So we lose our senses towards the election, and immediately after election, all of us become criers. We start crying. But coming to election, we forget everything we have suffered, and we look for that person that has the name that sounds like the name of people in my religion or the name of people in my tribe. So what becomes of the Nigerian person is how do I put it now? Is the ostrich. You know the ostrich, when they come, they bury their head. The ostrich head is very small compared to the size of its body. It's the largest bird. Now the ostrich will run, it will want to hide. It will dip its head in the sand. But the remaining part of the body is on the surface and they are seeing it. Now in the head of the ostrich, I'm hiding, nobody is seeing it. You only buried your head. That is the Nigerian case. So you want to hold the government accountable. There are two ways. Either you follow the due process during election. You say we are tired of this person. It doesn't matter where he's from. We are removing him. We are looking for somebody. In fact, Nigerians can say we don't want election again. If everybody in Nigeria put their mouths together, stand on one thing, there is no government that can say otherwise.
If I understand what you talk, Nigerians actually get all the power. We just know.
I can read the Constitution to you. I can read it out so that you hear it. We just don't know. The ones who know don't even want the right people to find out at all. The ones who, by chance or by education or training, found out are very docile. They are not doing anything about it. Because I don't want to be the victim. If I go out now, they send somebody to shoot me, and if I die without him change, I will die. They call it die throw away. You don't die throw away. Your death will change anything.
So what is the second way?
Yeah, the second way is wait during election. You can do it civil or do it the other way. Wait for election, remove these guys, put who you want. If you don't see who you want, Nigerians can say, we have not seen a candidate we want. We don't want the election. I don't want the government. I'm telling you, we are the people. It has happened all over, everywhere, in a lot of countries. You hear it in the news. They will enter the presidential villa and sack everybody there. We don't want a president again. Some of them will enter private jet and leave the country, go on and seek refuge in another country. They will keep their country without a government. People know what's happening. There's a country, I don't want to mention the name. They sacked everybody and brought their former chief judge, a woman, and put her to be the leader. What happened?
And the country is
did we suffer flood in the Noah's day? That flood will swallow everybody? No. Did earthquake happen because they sacked everybody in power? No. But they have exercised their right because they know. Ultimately, the people must know.
Now, that brings me to ask myself, say, is it now knowledge now be country people problem? Because we always shall say, know your rights. At least go through the constitution, know what your rights talk. Is it knowing your rights? Say, is it knowing your rights now be the solution to how things be? Or even if we know our rights, you just mentioned something now. The fact say we get this tribe thing, we get this religion thing, we get this division thing.
Yes.
Whether we know our right or not, as long as we know handle those division parts, Nigeria might just.
Yes. One is knowing. And then knowledge that is not used is useless. That you know is a different thing. But you know and you're using what you know is a whole different ball game. You understand? So Nigerians, on the generality of it, Nigerians don't know. Then the few ones that know are either using the knowledge in a mischievous way to serve their personal interest or have chosen not to use it. Just a fraction, just about 1% are Nigerians who know their right and they stand on it. And most of the times when you want to assert your right, it is still the masses who will say, what is your problem? This person has told you, sorry, now why can't you leave it? But it is your right. And you are the one to choose whether you want to assert it or leave it. I know an estate in Kubwa. I don't want to mention the name. The woman dragged the estate management and everybody to court. And everybody else, even people that did not consent, are you the only person? But they did something that is wrong. They collected money for development projects. They didn't do it. That is an estate. They promised them street lights in the estate. They promised them tarred roads within the estate. Few years down the line, people are living inside there. These facilities are not made available. When you drag them, estate management, resident association to court, everybody started hating on the woman. Are you the only person? Why would you make noise every time? Everybody's managing it. Why can't you manage it? But I have chosen not to manage it. And it is my right, by the way. So Nigerians, in the generality, are ignorant. They are ignorant. And then they want you also to be like them.
Ignorant.
Even when you know. See, in my part of the country where I come from, we do the clan and the kindred meeting a lot. Me as a lawyer, if I go to that meeting and I speak plenty English because I want the executive, the ESCOs, let's say we have a family chairman, secretary, and the ESCOs, they gather family money, they use it. And everybody like, if you talk now, they say to talk, leave it. And you, because you have studied law, you come back to the village, you say, there's supposed to be a town hall here. People collected money for it. Where is the town hall? I start asking questions. Everybody will start looking at you and say, you too do. What's your own? Why is it every time you are the one making money? But of course, you are calling for accountability, which is the right thing. That is how other countries developed. They didn't develop by leaving everything and anything to just slide like that. So Nigerians, you see the people ruling us back? You know why they call them the elites? Because they are more enlightened than us. They know. Most of them schooled abroad. Don't think they are stupid. Don't think the countries like this because they don't know. They know they have accessed the best facilities abroad. Their children take treatments there. Their children are in school there. They themselves go there. They school there. So they know what quality life is. But they have seen that you don't know it. And you cannot get what you have not asked for. That is the truth. So they have seen that these guys don't know. Okay, no problem. Let's enjoy it. So they keep quiet. But they know they are the brightest of minds that this country has. Trust me, they know. They are educated.
So the way now we country people now go feel hold, if we really mean now, if we feel stop all these tribes, stop all this religion, stop and use one mouth talk, and decide to really hold these people responsible by questioning them, or like you talk, going to our representatives then to ask, say, we want maybe a law, we want change for law, we go make so this will be accountable, or we use our election, take comot who we no want. Now the only way things without all of that, we'll continue like this.
Continue like this till Jesus comes.
So even if we continue now to educate on rights, we just now your right to demand for good road. Now your right to say you dey pay your tax, especially at least if you don't pay your do your own for me. If we keep educating, we keep shouting it, and Nigerians keep doing this, like you just talk, tolerating.
Yes.
Nothing will change.
Nothing will change. You can quote me anywhere. Nothing will change.
So
Maybe
do we continue
we
to
have
do?
50 years or more to still live. We'll be looking at things, we will see it. They will give you what they want to give you. Like, okay, Wetin now is in Abuja. He's doing very well in terms of infrastructure. He has done roads. He has done flyovers, bridges, blah blah blah. You understand? Not because anybody in Nigeria called him and said, "Oga, come and do this." No, he just saw the thing. He said, "Okay, there's work to be done. We need to do it," and he started doing it. In other countries, you don't try it. You do it as a matter of responsibility. But the way they do it in this country, they do it as if they are doing you a favor. You understand? So when they come to the radio, they'll talk. This road, I did it. That road, I did. No, it's not your road. You didn't even use a dime of your money. Didn't enter into it. So, ab initio, it was our right. The country, we, has made the money available for you to use it to do it. If you know you can't do it, why did you come? Why did you say you want to be minister of FCT or governor of any state? Nobody brought you from the house and foisted power on you. So you are not doing the people a favor. But of course, the people thinks you are doing them a favor. So they will ride on that ignorance.
They will ride on that ignorance.
That's true. That's the truth.
You don't close my mouth.
Yes, sir.
Right now, I dey more confused because I keep thinking, make we dey open people eye. We'll continue to educate them on their rights. But if from wetin you dey talk so,
Yes.
it no be like say light dey the end of the tunnel. So how do we continue talking about knowing our rights?
The more you talk, the more people will know. So eventually, one day, they wake up. But that knowledge is key. Like I said earlier, using the knowledge is a different way. But let the people know. One day, they wake up and decide to. But let the media continue spreading the news, continue spreading the awareness. You understand? The people should know. The better they know, the better they will do. So, but if they don't know, there's nothing to be done. 90% of Nigerians do not know. I'm being very magnanimous with the number. I'm being very generous with the number because I don't think we are up to. I think we are more than 90 who do not know anything about rights. That is the truth.
So
And
is it because we are not interested or because we don't know say anything like that actually did?
First of all, they have pushed us to the point where we want to survive. Survival is what we are interested in. So until the average Nigerian thinks that it is beyond survival, you cannot be telling an American about survival. He already knows he has conquered the survival level. So that is why you see them doing all manner of stunts, life-threatening stunts. And an average Nigerian won't try that rubbish. And an average Nigerian is more committed in looking for what he will eat and take care of his family than pursuing for the interest of everybody. That's just the truth. You understand? So that point where we are now, there's no miracle that can happen. Just we need to systematically disseminate the information. Let them even come out of the level where they are with what they know. That we shouldn't just be struggling to survive. When you think beyond survival, you will start knowing that there are other things in life. You understand? I told I was in one state in the north with a friend, so we were just going. I saw a couple of things, and I was, talking to my friend about it. So he now asked why. And fortunately, this person came in from the United States, so he was complaining. Why is this like this? I said, these people can only know there is something like what you know in the United States if they see it or they experience it. What you cannot conceive, you cannot achieve. They don't know a life beyond that level you see them now. Even in their widest imagination, they have not seen themselves beyond that level because it is either you are told that God wants you to be in that level. That's an average African. God wants you to be in that level, so just be there. God did not create human being for them to suffer. Let me deviate a bit. into the Nigerian. God did not create any human being to suffer. The suffering we are going through is artificial. Either you created it by your own ignorance and misdeeds, or somebody has created the suffering and you're suffering it. And in our own case, it's our government that is creating it because we are ignorant of what we have. So who are you going to blame? The other narrative is that the whites did this to us and all that to us. Like 60 years down the line, the whites left. We are talking about imperialism, neo-colonialism. Who is enhancing and enabling the neo and imperial? It is still the black person, the black man.
So now we be ourselves problem.
We are still our problem.
But make we still continue to the shout, know your right, know your right, know your right. I hope say go enter one day.
Let them know.
In conclusion, on top know your right today. Sam, what do you get to talk?
In conclusion, I encourage every Nigerian to be law-abiding. Yes, the tax law have come to stay. And it is very responsible of you if you pay your tithes, your tax. Tithe goes to the church. I think they are the same thing. Tithe, tax, they are the same thing. One you are giving to the church.
Yes,
one you are giving to the government. So you continue giving. So I encourage everybody to pay their taxes. It is the responsibility you owe to the greater obligation. You understand? I equally encourage the government. I don't know how to encourage the government now on this platform because it has gone beyond the encouragement. I don't know how we are going to do it. It has gone beyond prayers. But Nigerians should know that the government owes them a lot. The government is owing you a lot. The local government chairman that did the road, Anilpo, tie Ashebi to go and welcome him and dance for him, is rubbish. He collected times 10 of that money. So until you stop encouraging and enabling these people, so Nigerians, I will encourage Nigerians to know that the government is owing you, and you don't fail in living up to expectation, being law-abiding, paying your tax and all that. That's what I need to say.
Sam, Chidi, Nnaji, now be my guest on top of the show today, and then senior partner for OBN Attorneys.
Yes.
Thank you once again, Sam, saying show up on top of your rights.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here anytime.
Gamba. So you don't hear now. Now pleasure today here all the time. And the talk say government get the work actually to do public things them like education, light, security, and even they give employment opportunities, give better environment for business and life to take the flow. But unfortunately, because nobody, according to him, he say the section 2 of our Nigerian constitution say he talk all these things to, but he can't still put another one to say even if they no do am, we not feel drag them go court or go force them say make them do am. But they say we country people, we have to obey rules of the law, we have to pay our taxes, we have to vote, and we have to contribute by to respect, people in authority, and then do everything make our country for better. But he talk one thing, he say the power dey our hand. Now, country people get that power. You get the power as they pay your tax to demand for accountability. You get the power to vote out the person who be say you no want from there. And if government do anything, it not be you to tell them say thank you because not be favor them do for you. Now, what they supposed to do for you, now in them do. Remember, change begins with me. He said for all this to happen, change begins with me. We country people must first know our rights, know Wetin dey, do our own part, and make sure say we hold our government responsible. And as we end the program today, don't forget to continue to like us, follow us, subscribe, and share our reports and our programs on all social media platforms. Just search at CHRICED Radio TV and we'll go there together. My name na Princess Aniana, and I say God bless you, God bless Nigeria. Bye for now.